their first Next.js app? No one? No one is able to? Try using documentation, and we'll connect tomorrow for doubt session. Those only specific doubts I will cover. Okay. Let's start with the JavaScript. We were learning JavaScript. So I told you, as promised, we will revisit once again. So JavaScript, two things are very important. Okay. One thing we learned is about variables. Okay. We learned about variables. Is my screen visible to both of you? Is the screen is visible to both of you?
Yes, sir.
We learned about variables, and variables is main function. Main work of variable is what in programming language? Store the value. Okay, is this clear to everyone? And this variable may have a data type. Okay, what data type? Or at least it is a type of var, let, or const, meaning the access or preference. Okay, so these three things are in JavaScript, and data type is in TypeScript or Java. Okay, I understood what is variable. Next thing what you guys need to understand. Next thing what you guys need to understand is function. Okay, function. So whenever I say function, these two brackets come into the picture. Okay, and now when a function is there, what is the main function of function? Okay, what is the main purpose of function? Can anyone tell? Someone background voice is coming from someone.
Calling some method.
Not actually calling. What is the function? Someone is saying you want to meet. Yeah, Patani. Execute the program, but it is in technical term. In normal term, what can we say that? Just basic terminology. No technical term. I'm just asking a very basic function, not a very hi-fi, just normal term. So function is just like variable is stored the value. Let's suppose if a kid is asking you what is a variable, you can say that store the value. Okay, and what type of value is it, up to you. Okay, but the kid will understand if I'm writing something in programming that it is store the value, but for the function is action. Any kind of action do you perform, that you perform is what? Any kind of action that you perform is what? In programming language, what do we call it? Hello, please respond. Function. Okay, great. Now we can move ahead. Function is action, variable is variable. So if talking about variable, you have to do two things. You have to first declare the variable. And how do we do that? Is by using var function variable name and variable name. Var name and whatever value, something like this, and when we have to use it, we will just use var name. Okay, var name. So this var name will technically store whatever the value you will give. Let's suppose if you call this var a as 5, then whenever in the programming language you will store 5, you will write 5, or wherever you will use a, that means the value of a is going to be 5. That means it is storing a value. That part is clear. Function, you have to read to one more time, you need to take care of. Do you guys have pen and paper? If not, just bring pen and paper. And because today we will learn basics of Java as well, so that you will be able to understand more. You guys have pen and paper, so please bring it up if you have. Everyone bring it up, brought it up. Okay. People on the Skype, do you guys have pen and paper? Raise your hand if you got it. People on the meet, raise your hand if you got the pen and paper. Now, what about others? Pen and paper, everyone. I want everyone to be have pen and paper. Raise your hand if you got pen and paper. Then only we can start. People on Skype, yeah, good, 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 good. People on meet, you got pen and paper. Still, I see a lot of hands not raised. Everyone has got the pen and paper. Great. So function, the function we are talking about, function, action, okay, whatever action we are doing it's it is function. So let's suppose uh, one action is walking. So if I say walking is an action, then it is a function. Yes, it is a function. Then it is going forward. Going forward. Is it an action? Yes, it is an action. Okay. Now we will see some practical example. Okay. And for that we are going to use Java compiler. It is just that the function and the function and method variable writing way in Java is better than JavaScript for understanding point of view. Java is verbose, okay, but you can understand things more easily over here. Okay. Okay, great. Let's move on. Let's move on. If you want to understand function, then Java is the best language where you can understand the function. The one difference that we didn't talk in the last session is each function has a return type. Each function has a what? Return type or return. Okay, return statement. Return statement. What is return statement? In JavaScript, it is not often clear to a lot of developers or a lot of students. So that is why we are looking up to Java for that matter. Okay, are you guys ready? Should we start? Don't don't just block your head. Just keep open your head, yes, I'm learning something new. Don't just think why I'm learning JavaScript in between. Why I'm learning Java in between of JavaScript. The main matter should be you should learn the functionality, and how you learn it, that is another thing. So should we start? Say yes or yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
great. Yeah, I want yes from everyone. I see very small. Yeah, great, 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 great. So first, what Java basically gives. So I love Java. Basically, I love Java for this reason only, because it makes my understanding so clear. Okay. So let's suppose adding two number. Adding two number. So now you must have read this program multiple times. Okay, if you have trying, if you are coding, you have read this multiple times. But now this time you guys will learn why we were actually doing that. And next time when you sit in doing on yourself, you might not remember what I have written exactly, but you will be able to write the code. But what I'm teaching you is problem solving, not exactly how to memorize things. Okay. So you have to answer what I wanted to ask. So let's suppose I have a two number one, and number two, number one and number two. So can anyone tell number one or number two is storing a value that is 5, that is 6? Is it a variable or a function? No,
Variable.
it is just storing number.
Variable, sir.
Yeah, storing number is what? Variable. Storing number is what? Variable. Okay. So what I can do, can I write this where number one, where number two? Can I do something like that? Yes or no? Yes or no from the
Yes.
team? Yeah, we can do that.
Yes,
But
sir.
in
Yes, sir.
Java, in JavaScript you can do it. But in Java, you have to specify the type. So what type of this 5 is? It is type of integer. So whatever integer means number. So we call it int. We call it int. Okay, int is for integer. Okay, you must have gone through math class. Integer number. So now we have this, what we have this variable. Okay, variable. Is it clear to everyone? This is integer, it is a variable. Now, can anyone tell, is addition is a variable or function? For the hint, if you can see that it is an action or it is a variable. For the hint, you guys have this too. Yeah, function. Why it is function? Why it is function? Some people may said that I am not seeing any action. But the add over here is not just storing value, it is doing some work. What work it is doing? It is doing work of adding two numbers. Work of adding two numbers. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone? Is it the work is going, some work is going on? And what are you
Yes, sir.
adding here? And what are you adding over here? You are adding number one, and you are adding number 2. Is this clear to everyone what we are adding?
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, but if I run this program, I will get an error. It is saying that cannot find symbol add. Why it cannot find symbol add? Because we haven't declared the function. Okay, this is what we call calling the function. So one thing we know that we cannot run the function before declaring it, and this is same for the variable. Okay, if you want to check number one, value of number one, you won't be able to get it. System dot out dot println, and if you're trying to print number one, before declaring, do you see any value? It is saying error. Can you guys see the error? Why? Because to use a variable, you need to declare it first. To use a variable, you need to declare it first. Now, if I moved it one line below, and just comment this, so that give us error. Can you guys see number 5 showing over in the bottom? Hello. Yeah. So
Okay.
one most important thing that we learn from the mistake, that we cannot just call the function. We need to declare it first. So how do we declare it? In Java, if talking about in JavaScript, we write function keyword, add. Okay, add, and what are we adding? Can anyone tell? Number one, and also what
Number
are
2.
we adding? Number two. And what is the logic here? Now in the inside the function, you will add the logic. What is the logic? Number one plus number two. Is this part clear to everyone? What is happening over here? Is this part clear? Yeah. Okay. Now
Okay.
we can I don't get it. What are you saying? Okay. Oh yeah. We can. No. Add cannot be variable. What is your variable? Is your result. Got my point? Your result will be variable. The result will be variable. That is what I wanted to say. Result will be your variable. You are going in right direction. If you, that means you are thinking. Don't just dishearten. You are actually thinking. You come up. Your approach was good. Result. So this has happened when you are actually thinking, and this is what when you are trying to memorize something. In result, and what you can do system.out.println, and if I print result, how many people think that I'll get the result? How many people think that I get the result? Yes or no? You will get the result or not?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Why you won't get the result? You have written the function, you have
Sir,
declared the function.
because the return type of the function is not specified.
Yeah, because we have not defined return type. Okay, let me just tell you one more thing. Like uh, in JavaScript, return type is sometimes not necessary, but most of the cases it is necessary, and sometimes it is not necessary. Okay, but in Java, just remember the distinction. If you want to make a table, you can make a table. In Java, return type is very necessary. Return type is very necessary. So what you are returning over here, what we are going to return over here, what we are going to return over here, we are going to return the result, right? We are going to return the result. Is that part clear? Is this part clear? Return, we are going to return the
Yes,
result.
sir.
The result. Okay. And now the type of result, what would be? If I add two number, what will I get? If I add two number, what will I get? Another number, right? If I add two number, if I add 5 6, then what is the return type of this? Int. Is this part clear to everyone?
Yes.
In JavaScript, you don't need to do this. In JavaScript, you don't need to do this. Why? Because in JavaScript, you don't need to put int. Why? Because JavaScript may require sometimes return type and may not require return type sometimes. But in Java, what do we say? In Java, you must have defined a return. Is this part clear? Till now, we are clear. But there is one issue. There is no keyword such as function in Java. Okay. So yeah, let's don't focus on the syntax. There is no keyword, something like that. And now we see that expected number one, number two, public in.
So we can
Sir, in function, you have to define int number one, comma int number two.
Yeah. So okay, if it is JavaScript, this program will work. If it is JavaScript, your current program, this program would have been work. But in Java, you have to define the types. Define the types. Okay, what type you are sending, and it works. Some people find it very. Some people find it. What do we say? Some people find it very. Verbose meaning too much of word. Like you are already saying this is int, and you are sending it int. You are sending it int. Then again you have to write int. But for some people, they find it very good. Why they find it very good? They use it as a check that whether they are actually sending it numbers or not. Let's suppose someone instead of number two, someone said Ravi, then our program will give instant error. Okay, but now let's send the number. Let's run the program. I think we have to do. Okay, non-static method. Okay, we have to add.
we can create instance method. So we create object.
How many people can see the answer now? It is compiler specific. You have to put the term static. We will learn it what is static further, but you have to put it over here static. In JavaScript, you don't need to put all these three. In JavaScript, you don't need to put all these three. You can remove these three as it is. Okay. So what we saw that if we wanted result, we get the result. But what if, now think clearly, what if we have returned number one? If we have returned number one, let's see what is the answer I'm getting. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see that? My logic is correct, everything is correct, everything is correct. What
No,
is
sir.
different? What is difference over here? What is wrong over here?
We
Yeah.
returning number one.
So that thing we learned it from this lesson, from this exercise we learned one thing, that whatever return type we will give or whatever return we will give, that will act as an answer of what? That will be act as the answer of these result. So we have to be very careful about what we are returning. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to
Yes,
everyone? Say yes or no.
yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Now, so everyone understood the idea. What is return type? So return type is what? Return type is answer of function. Return type is what? Return type is what? It is not
Answer
answer.
function.
Return type is, yeah, great, great. You can speak it.
Answer of function.
Yeah, return value is answer of function. It is not the answer of solution. Okay, a return type is not answer of solution. Okay, return type is answer of function. Okay, is this part clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Let me just experiment this. Let's try to- where is it saying? It's saying add number one. Okay. Hmm.
It's a static name.
No, no. Main method is, just let me just check what is the error. The reason is, no, we have not given extra bracket. What is happening over here? Uh, I know the answer. It is because uh, main method is already a this main method is already a function. Okay, this main is already a function. If you can see this two bracket, it is already a function, and we are trying to write a function inside a function. So that is why this error is coming. So we have to put a check. Let me just check it. I wanted to write it more like JavaScript. That is the reason. So that you will have some resemblance with you. I think we have to add public static. It's not taking. Let me just try this. What is the error we are doing? Okay, just leave it as of now. Okay, what is the thing that you you have to define your function in Java when you're working? You have to define your function outside of loop. Okay, and you have to refer it with static. Okay, you have to mark it as static. We will learn for further class why you have to do something like that. Now, if you do something like that, just if you keep it outside of main, and if you run it, it will work probably fine, properly fine. Okay. So one thing we two things are clear to us. Okay, two things are clear to us. That return type. What is return type? Okay, we will take one more example, and this time we will take real life example. Okay. Okay. Now let's suppose public, and if there is no return type, what do we write it? Void. Public void move. Move. Okay. Public void move. Okay. And in step step plus okay. So this time let's suppose int name, and we call it Rakesh. Okay. So first thing is that the name cannot be int, so we have to put it in a string. Okay. So name is what? Name is what? Name is what? A variable. Name is what? Variable. But the steps that we are going to give it here, it is what? Steps that we are going to give it over here, it will be what? It will be with which type? Integer, int. Okay. In JavaScript, you can just write var and it will work fine. So int step int name. Okay. A string name int, and let's suppose in step, and if you call this move function, okay, so you can see this a name of, what is the name of a person? Name of a person is a value. Name of a person is a value, yeah. And step is also a value, but what is action over here? What is action over here is move is the action. Is it clear to everyone? Move is the action over here, right? Move is the action that is happening over here. Is this clear to everyone? Move is the action. This is the value. This is value. This is value. This is what? Action. What action is happening over here? Can anyone tell? Can anyone tell? Yeah, it is.
Function, sir.
Yeah, that means the person is moving forward. That person is moving forward. Is it clear? In this by logic, we can see that person is doing some kind of action. So it is mimicking real-time actions, right? Is it clear to everyone? It is mimicking real-time action. And let's suppose, okay, now I'll just do system out, system out dot print ln. So when we are printing, are we returning anything? When we are printing anything, what this function is doing, what this move function is doing, what this move function is doing, what this move function is printing how many steps person has walked. So it is not returning anything. That is why it is void. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone? Okay. And now let's run it. Now let's run it. Okay, the method. Static. and need to pass.
Sir, you have not given the parameter.
Variable step is okay. Okay. Yeah, that part I wanted to see. So what we see that in this scenario, look in this scenario, the previous scenario, the add function, we have learned whatever we wanted to learn. But this is the new scenario where what we are learning over here is argument versus parameter. Argument and parameter. So last time when we talked, we have called argument is our actual value, or it is just prop value. Argument is actual value or
Argument
something else.
actual value.
Argument is our actual value. Okay. So argument is our actual value. Okay. So if I ask you, what is the value of this step? What is the value of this step? Can you guys tell me what is the value of this step?
10.
What is the
Then
10? Right. But if I ask you, okay, and one more thing that guys, there is a value scope. So whenever you get out of this function, once this function is executed, once this function is done, okay, all the values will be gone. So now guys, can you tell what is the value of this function, this step? What is the value of this step? What is the value of this step?
0.
Yeah, there is no value. It is null. It is null value. So it is what it is just. It is just a prop. But if you see that your overall function is dependent on this step, right? Let's suppose if you remove this step, let me just remove this step. If I remove this step and run it, you see this, we are getting error. It is saying that I don't find it step. So that means my function is dependent on this step. But what is the value? There is no actual value of this. But I have to read it. I have to write it. I have to give it a space. I have to declare it. So what I will do, I'll just give it a fake value. I will just write it. I will just write it without any values. So actual values 10 is over here. That is going inside, written inside main function 10, but it has no value. So what do we call the the variable which doesn't have actual value? What do we call it? What do we call this? What do we call this? The function which doesn't have actual value. What do we call it? What is this step? What is this step? The function step. This function, I will call it function step. What do we call this function step?
parameter.
Yeah, parameters. So these are parameters, and do parameters have their own value? Do parameters have their own value? Can you see that? Do parameter have their own value? Does it have its
No, sir.
own value? No. It has. Where does it take value from? Where does it take value from? From arguments. From arguments. I know it's hard for few people. If you have gone through the last time, then you would have understood the topic. But again, so let's suppose if I did the step to 9, the value changed. Okay. So what I'm seeing this, even if I change the name over here, let's say I called it F step, okay, or step F, okay, so that, or let's say we call it step parameter, okay, step parameter, so that you will understand it is a parameter, step parameter. So can you tell me, is this step and is this step are both same? Step parameter and step argument, are these same? Are they same? Step argument and step parameter, are they same? Just use any logical print. Programming is logic. So if you don't think, you won't be able to answer it. Just give me a logic. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Is this step param or is this step is same? Just think logic. Don't forget about programming. Forget about theory. Forget about concept. Is this step and is this step param same? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
No, no. But are they same? Are they same? Is this step, int step, and this step param, are they same? Why? Can anyone tell why?
No, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I try to answer. Why? Why? Reason why? It is very basic reason. It
The-
is like the reason
This,
when you used
this
to.
value is passing the.
Yeah, that is very. When you are a kid, you used to say that. Let's suppose you when two people ask even the similar names, you would say that no, there is some change in spelling and it is different. So same thing here. Even if you change any single spelling, these two will become different. So these two are very different variables. But what I'm seeing is system. Let me just print the system param. System param. Step param. Sorry, step param. Step param. Okay. Sorry, we are writing Java. So what is the value of a step param? We see this. What is the value of a step param we are getting? What is the value of a step
9.
param we are getting? 9. And what is the value of a step? What is the value of step? 9.
9.
Okay. Okay. So are we passing the value here? Are we passing value here? Are we passing value here?
Yes,
No.
sir.
Yeah, we are passing value here, but are we, do you guys seeing the same value is coming here? Same value is coming, but are we sending this exact step over here?
No,
Are
sir.
we seeing? No, right. This is correct. No, we are not seeing exact value. We are not passing the exact value. We are just passing. We are just passing a reference of that.
Just passing the values, not reference.
Okay, but there is one concept of object. Okay, that's just the rarest reference of concept. Is that okay, just forget about that because it will confuse you again. So we are just sending the value, whatever the value of 9 is over here, we are sending it 9 over here. Okay, the 9 goes here. Then again, the argument is replaced. The value of argument is replaced by which? The value of parameters, and parameter name can be same, the parameter can be same, or the value of parameter, no, not the value, name of parameter can be same and name of parameter can be different. Name of parameter can be same and name of parameters can be different. Okay, it doesn't necessary to be same. But if you have used step param, then inside the function you have to use the same value. For example, let's suppose if I come over here and if I said step param is equal to 45. Okay. And now if I run it, what do you guys get? Int 9.
Maybe error.
No, no, no. You won't get it. If I change the value, what you will get? What are you getting? What are you getting?
45.
45. Why you are getting 45? Because we are printing it from which? We are printing it from function and scope. So the scope of value one scope of a value remains inside the function only. And if you just remove this same thing, if you just remove and put it over here, okay, step step out dot println step over here. So the value is changed. Why it is changed? Because it is matter of scope. Can you guys see this? That scope. If I select it over here, if I click it over here, only this part is selected. So the values depend on what? One more thing. The values dependent on two things. One is scope, and another thing is the scope, and another thing is parameters and argument. Okay, is this part clear to everyone? Hello, is it? Do you guys
Yes.
have any doubt? Is there anyone who has any doubt yet? You can ask it, because I know first time it is not very easy to understand these concepts in the first time. Because a lot of people don't know how to use function, how to play with function, and they remain stuck in their career for multiple times, and they always get confused. What is a function? What is a variable? What is happening over here? And how it is changed, how it is not changed. Okay, is this part clear? That function work, the value of function depends on two things. One is that block, one is this argument and parameter, and there was one more thing that we learned today. What was that? Return. Return. And if I said 56, now can anyone tell? Return 56. Okay, return 56, and if I print now can anyone tell? Now anyone can tell what is the last answer that we will see on the screen? What is the
50,
answer that we will see on the screen? Whether we will see it step param or 56, whether we will see 45 or we will see 56. We cannot see it 9 because we are nowhere using 9 over somewhere, anywhere in that. So there is no chance of seeing 9. But what you will get?
56.
56. So what I wanted to show you that this return, let me remove this, and now if you can run it. Now if you see that the most important thing as an answer, let's suppose you are storing answer over here. Just answer. What I'm so if you have joined any local class or local institute, they won't teach you this kind of stuff. Why they don't teach you that kind of stuff? They haven't played with this much with functions. Okay, they haven't tried it on their own, or they haven't, either they have tried it on their own. They don't think like they think that let's feed a student with whatever repetitive knowledge you are getting on internet, just feed it with them. But our purpose of doing experimentation is, you might find it hard right now, but when you do it on your own, but when you try it on your own, you will find out that, man, whenever you see that, even though your code is saying something different, but you are the one who will be easily spot that there is something wrong with this return statement, and that is going to be my answer. No matter whatever I'll do, my answer will be my answers will be my answer will be return statement. So if I want to fix it, I have to return this step param. And if some of you guys have noticed, I have changed this to int, because what I'm returning over here, I'm returning an integer. when I was printing it over here, system dot out dot println step error. Then my answer was there was void, but right now it is int. So whatever is the return statement, whatever is the return value, your return type depends on that thing. It doesn't depend on the logic, it doesn't depend on the whatever is written inside. Okay, it depends on what? It depends on the return statement. So this type depends on return statement. So answer a quick question. Do we need to think about return type in JavaScript as well? Do we need to think about return type in JavaScript as well?
No, sir.
No, why no? Why no? Can anyone tell why we don't have to think about that? Can anyone tell? It is very logical. It is a childish question, and we have been focused a lot of times. So, can anyone answer? It's a very easy question. So, don't think you will feel embarrassment. Why? What is the reason behind that? What is the one reason you don't have to think about return type in JavaScript? Can anyone tell?
Because it is syntactical rule.
No, it is not syntaxical rule. The answer is something different. Okay, I'll just convert this whole code into JavaScript and then try to answer why we are not writing. You will get the answer. Let me just change this to const, because const is the most. Keep it where, so that we will be understand where. And now this code is JavaScript. The whole code is JavaScript code. And now can anyone tell why we did not think about return type in JavaScript? Why we are not thinking? Why we are not thinking? Can anyone tell? This is now pure JavaScript code. No one has answer for that. Yeah, the answer is very simple. There is no type in JavaScript. If you see that we are writing var, we are writing const. If we want to write it var, we can write it var over here. Nothing will affect it. If I wanted to write it let, I can write it let. Okay, so there is no types in JavaScript. So why do you need? How do you know that? What is the type over here? So something that doesn't exist in programming language, how you would use it? Do you guys got the answer? JavaScript doesn't have a type. So why would you use a type, return type? How do you get a return type? So that is the one reason. A lot of people get confused. Okay. So is the difference clear between difference clear? What are the return type that uh, what is return type? One thing is clear. Return type is clear to everyone. Whatever answer of function is what? Answer of function is what? Hello? People on the meet. Answer of function is what? Return statement, right?
Return
Yeah. And
statement.
yeah, okay, great. And which is actual value? This parameter or this argument? Which is real value? Parameter or argument? Parameter or argument? Which is real value?
Parameter, sir.
No, argument. Argument. A for argument, A for actual value. A for argument, A for actual value. Just remember it whenever you forget argument. And where do we pass argument? Inside the main function. Inside the function. Argument, where do we call it? Where do we use it? We use it while calling the function. While calling the function. Okay, and it is the real value. And if you want to write this, note it down in your notebook. Note it down in your notebook. Note this line in your notebook. So right now you guys know basics of function, how the function works, how function works. And what is the scope of a function? Scope of a function, if I ask you, what is the scope of a function? Only the block. Once you put the return statement, whatever, no matter whatever value you have written, int a 9, int b 7, no matter whatever the values you have written inside a function, once the return statement comes, once the return is been done, once the function has been executed, everything is lost, everything is deleted from compiler, everything is just gone. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone? What is the scope of a function? Only till the block, only to the only inside the function. It cannot move inside. A value cannot move inside. This value cannot move inside over here. If you write it over here, one value of one function, so the value, this step is in main function, okay. And if I try to use it over here, I cannot use it. Can anyone tell the reason? Because cannot find symbol. Why you cannot use a step function? Because this is different. This is separate function, and this is separate function. So we will note it down. Note it down. The function depends on three things. The value of a function decided by three things. How do you determine the value of function? Three things will depend. Value of function. The most important thing is scope. The again thing is return type. Return value, not return value. Third thing, it depends on the argument and parents. Parameters. Now, if you want to send this value, if you want to send this value of main, if you want to send the value of main inside this move, you have to pass this as argument. You have to pass this as argument. You have to send this step. You send this step. Now you have to send this step, something like this. Now it is sent. Now it is sent. Now you will get the value. Now you will get the value. It's pretty straightforward. Can you guys see that? The value has been passed. The value has been passed through argument and through parameters. Okay. But if you change the name over here, step.para, you have to change it over here. You have to change it over here. You have to change it over here. Why we have to change all the name? Because this value, you have passed it over here. It has been received it, and once it is received, it will remain inside this scope. Once this is done, you will not able to get this. Once this is done, once this executed, all the values has been lost. All the values. Let's suppose you have defined something like this over here. Int initial step 8 over here, then it will be gone. This initial step will be gone. Just imagine like that. Once you write the return statement, everything is gone, something like this. Okay, is it clear to everyone how the function internally works? Is it clear to everyone? Hello, say yes or no. Yeah. I know it's complicated. You
Yes.
have to, yeah, you have to work it out, work on that. So, but the overall conclusion of this session is that 3-4 things that you have to take care, must take care when learning function. Okay, and that you know it right now. If you must note it in your notebook because it is going to be help you till the rest of your life. Okay, because all the programming languages these days are shifting to functional programming languages, and people doesn't think about function a lot. People doesn't play with function a lot, and they got stuck in their career. So that you guys don't want. Okay, is there any doubt, or should we drop off the call? Is there any doubt? Anyone has having doubt? Keep it clear. If you have any doubt, you can keep it clear over here. You can take this screenshot and have it with you. This is a perfect use of function. Here you will learn about function very clearly. Take this code with you. We are passing argument while calling the function argument actual value actual, and we are passing parameter while declare, okay, and parameter is prop. Parameter is prop. In React, you will learn about props as well. In React, they don't call it params, they call it props even. So we will learn about props. What is props? Okay. So parameters we are calling. Name can be different from argument. If you want, take that screenshot. Take this screenshot and have it with you. Screenshot taken. Everyone has taken the screenshot. Hello. Have you guys taken the screenshot?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So go refer to that page. Refer to that